All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a chat with Castle Capes and Clones, where we talk about everything in the Disney universe. I am by myself today because Loren has some family obligations to do, so I am trying to handle everything. So bear with me. I don't have anyone to really riff off of, so it'll just be me talking about a couple things. So it'll probably be a quick-ish episode. Um, but we didn't have one last week. Similar, just life happened, and so instead of not having another episode this week, I said, well, I'll just pop in to say hi and go over some of the stuff that's going on in the world of Disney. Um, so yeah, there's a couple things. Hello, William, in chat. So yeah, I mean, if you're expecting Lauren to be here, unfortunately, just me, cousin Rich today. But we do have a couple things I did want to kind of comment and talk about a little bit. Um, Hello. I swear I'm gonna get cousin Rich shirts for the Castle Capes and Clone thing. Well, one, we should get some Castle Capes and Clone shirts, but I want mine to say cousin Rich on it. So hello. Um, oh my 100, yeah. It's like, so I go to Disneyland at least once a week, depending if I could get reservations. And sometimes I'm like, I should film something. Um, but I do go to Disneyland to do like my steps, which on a normal day, normally it's above 10,000. Like I just spend hours just walking around doing whatever. Um, but uh, but yeah, I have a couple more Disneyland videos coming up. I have a new kind of I don't know what to call them on YouTube, but they're like a new playlist, but it's like a new show. But it's going to be me kind of showing Disneyland at night, because that's when I get to go to Disneyland most days. So yeah, I'll look forward to that. I think my first one is a tour of Galaxy's Edge at night, because it does look very different at night if you've never been. But then, I think I also take you on some rides that are outdoors, so you can see them kind of at night. Yeah. Speaking of Disney World, actually. So the Galactic Star Cruiser went up for pre-booking. And I think it's like Club 33 members got first dibs, and the Golden Oaks residents got first dibs, because, let's face it, they have a lot to spend. But I think DVC members did, and maybe press did also. So I do know a lot of the Disney bloggers that I watch were able to book. But public booking doesn't start till October 28th. But watching some of the videos I've seen, one, it was like a whole ordeal to get, booked on the Star Cruiser. For those who don't know, the Star Cruiser is the Disneyland, or the Star Wars experience thing, the 2-night experience thing. Super expensive, but some of the things I did learn about it. One, the booking process was over phone. There was no online version of it. I don't know if that's going to be the case when it goes into the general public, but for this pre-booking was all phone, and for some people it took like 12 hours to try to get through. But some of the interesting things I learned was that there are 3 cabins. I think we knew that from the information they sent, but like the availability is crazy. Like the top cabin, which sleeps 8 people, there's only 2 available per trip. And then the second tier, which is the Galaxy class, only has 4 per trip. And then the rest are standard cabins. So if you plan on getting the 8-person cabin or the bigger 4-person cabin, um, plan way ahead, because those will go super quick. In fact, I think for most of the people like that were in Club 33 or Golden Oaks, that wasn't available for them. They were already booked. But if you do book 90 days plus out, so 90 days ahead or more, what you do is you pay a 20% kind of deposit, and then you have 90 days to pay the rest of it. But what that means is if you book the Star Cruiser like a year in advance, you pay 20% up front, but then you have that year to pay off the rest of it, which, it's very expensive things like $5,000 to $6,000 a cabin. But, if you're splitting it, you don't have to pay the whole thing in one shot. I mean, you could, but you have, that if you book, if you book a year, you have a year to pay that off. If you do book early, within less than 90 days, then you do have to pay the whole thing. So if anyone's planning on going to the Star Cruiser, that might help ease any trepidations about the cost. Certainly opens up some possibilities for myself and people who I'd go with. So knowing that we don't have to pay $6,000 up front. And also from what I've gathered, like if you're going to do it, treat it like any kind of vacation. Go through a travel agent, right? I believe most travel agents, it's free cost. Like they make their money off commissions from Disney. So, and then they can deal with the 12 hours on hold with Disney, and you don't have to. But that goes for anything you guys do. Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, all that kind of things. If you're going to go on a trip like that, look into a travel agent, make dining plans, all those kind of things. They can probably find you discounts and whatnot. And it's all free. Like I said, they make commissions from the place you're going. So look into that. In addition to that stuff, there's a 5-issue comic that is going to tie into the Galactic Cruiser, which tells some stories about the ship itself from different time periods in the Star Wars timeline. From the image I saw, there is an image of a Wookiee Jedi named Buryaga. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But that's from the High Republic era. I'm assuming there's going to be from High Republic, the prequel era, the original trilogy era, the sequel era, and then somewhere in between. That'll come out in 2022. So, yeah. Let us know. Is anyone out there planning on going to the Galactic Cruiser anytime soon? I think when the 20th comes, they're booking from March to September. So, plan ahead, basically. And also know that it's a very small amount. There's a small window of availability, right? Because it's not like a full hotel. It's kind of like booking like a cruise, right? There's only so many cabins to rent. So I would plan ahead, but also have kind of an open backup plan. Like maybe have 3 or 4 dates that you can go to it. So there's that. In Disneyland news, something I just learned earlier today is that the monorail will finally open up tomorrow. Today is the 14th, so on the 15th, the Disneyland monorail will be running. In fact, I tried to get it when I was there, but I saw it running, like test runs when I was there during my 10K thing, and then I think earlier this week I saw it, but I didn't have my camera ready, and I didn't want to wait, because I don't know, there's no interval of their tests, so I could have been waiting there for a while, but I knew they were testing it for at least a month, so it's kind of cool that the monorail is up. yeah, it's expensive, right? It's going to be one of those things. I want to go to this Galactic Star Cruiser, obviously. I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't know when. I think honestly, I think I would want to wait anyway for them to go through the first wave of people and just kind of work out any kind of the weirdness that I think is going to come from the first kind of voyages of the thing, or maybe even the first year or so. So I think by the time I get to go, then they should have worked out stuff, maybe made some improvements and whatnot, and learned from the earlier trips. But hopefully one of these days, you know, I know there's some people out there who are complaining about it being really really expensive. Like, who would go to this thing? I'm like, apparently a lot of people did because like it's there's a lot of dates that are already sold out. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, the monorail. The thing about the monorail, if you're from Disneyland, right now, the security entrance that kind of leads into downtown Disney from the Mickey and Friends and Pixar and Friends, it's kind of closed off. So you kind of have to walk around and go to the Disneyland Hotel entrance to downtown Disney, which is not a big deal, but it's kind of annoying that you have to walk around this whole big security area that is that was open before, but you can't go because it's only for cast members. But that's pretty much the easiest way to get from the parking lot to the monorail to get into the park if you want to go via monorail. So I wonder if they're going to open that up. Hopefully, because kind of suck not to. So can you imagine going and spending the money and they haven't worked out all? Yeah. I mean, like I don't think it's gonna be like major kinks, but I think like especially the first, like no one really knows what it is really. I mean, like I have an idea. You know, some people think it's a hotel. Some people think it's like a cruise. Like it can do whatever. You know, there's a lot of interactive elements to it, and that's the part where I'm concerned because you know, like Batu, Galaxy's Edge, basically. Before it was open, there's all this promise of like interactive and immersion, and there is elements of it, but not to the point where they kind of promised. You know, like there's supposed to be one. It's supposed to be more denizens walking around instead of just the shopkeepers and you know those kind of things. So there's no droids walking around, no aliens walking around. Like, even in Avengers Campus, you see the heroes. And sometimes they interact more often. Like, now I don't see stormtroopers anymore. I don't see Vi Marathi anymore. I don't see Rey. I don't see Chewbacca anymore. So it's kind of like, they do it at Avengers Campus, but they don't do it in Galaxy's Edge, and I'm kind of concerned that they've kind of given up on that whole immersion thing. But anyway, yeah, I hope that there's whatever lessons they might learn from the first Galactic Cruiser trips work themselves out by, I would hope, you know, the first couple, and they work out most of it, and then maybe you know, take whatever information and data they learned from the first, you know, couple months and then make improvements along the way. And by the time I get to go, they've made major improvements. So I think by the time I go, it should be a more refined experience. So I don't think it'll be totally chaotic when it opens, but I think there's going to be some weirdness in the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, right. One of the other promises was that like if you did poorly on the Millennium Falcon, you're supposed to get someone or someone mention it somewhere in Galaxy's Edge, right? And that's never ever happened. So, you know, I don't know if they plan on doing a little more immersion at Galaxy's Edge, but I hope they do. I think that would add, like, I know there's a lot of people who don't like it because it doesn't feel Star Warsy, and I get it. You know, I still love it, but you know, I'm a really big Star Wars fan, and I just being around the Millennium Falcon and like seeing people's reactions to seeing it and all those kind of things. And Rise of Resistance is still a great ride, but I feel like Avengers Campus being smaller feels more immersive than Galaxy's Edge does. I get the social distancing thing, so you can't have. I mean, you can, I think, but like I get not having the characters walk around like they used to. But Avengers Campus, like Loki, well, one, Loki's there all the time, but like they're in areas where they're still approachable. And you can see them and they interact and they talk to people and whatnot. You just don't get that at Galaxy's Edge right now, and it's something I'm missing from it. So yeah. What else? Oh, the for everyone out in Disney World, Genie Plus starts on the 19th, which I think is next week. What day is it today? I don't even know. And I'm curious to see what everyone in Florida thinks of Genie Plus, because I think out of the two parks, it's the most jarring to everyone in Florida. Like Disneyland had a version of it kind of in Max Pass, so it's one of those things where I think it's something some people here in Disneyland know a little bit more or familiar with, but it's a totally new thing for Florida. So I'm really curious to see how Disney Plus goes, especially with the confusion with Disney Plus and then Lightning Lane and then the paid Lightning Lane stuff, and then seeing if they change any of that. Like, I'm still hoping that it becomes part of the Dream Key here at Disneyland. If anything, like a paid addition to our key. But yeah, for any of you guys out in Florida, when that happens, let us know what you guys think, because I am curious to see how this is going to be accepted over there, especially because it seems to be a very new thing for Florida and Disney World, and then we'll see what happens here in Disneyland. But look for that next week. What else? I also learned that for Disneyland, or basically California Adventure, that the Disney Junior Dance Party returned, which for me is exciting only because my niece loves the Disney Junior stuff. So be exciting to take her back to that now that she's a little bit older, and she kind of has more awareness of characters and stuff. So it's been closed, since the pandemic, and it's reopening or reopened already. I'm not sure. So, yep. Let's see. The list of rides that they are doing that I should charge for is nuts. Do you really walk on that? Like the Everest ride, when the last time we were there, like I did the whole, booked the fast pass for it. I forget what it's called over there, or was called over there, but it broke down. And I saved it for one of the last things that we did there, and unfortunately didn't get to ride it. So, yes, yeah, I'll do. It's kind of tricky because I tried not to include my niece and my family in my vlogs, only because to keep their privacy, those kind of things. But I'll try to do something at the dance party, at least show you guys what it is, without showing the kids also, because I don't like focusing on kids on the video, because if I was a parent, I wouldn't want someone videotaping my kid all the time. Do we call it videotaping? I don't know, videoing. But it's a cute show, so I will try to get at least the stage version of it, so you guys can experience that stuff. Man, I guess I don't know. Last time I was there was in 2018, I think, and so I didn't get to go. Well, there was a wait, but I had other plans and all kind of stuff. But it is one of my favorite rides, but I didn't get to go out last time. Kind of made me sad, but it's kind of cool. If you can go in the morning, I guess I should have gone in the morning. I think because I don't get to go a lot, I prioritized a lot of different things, and plus I was with my family had a lot of little kids and wanted to do what they got to do. But I remember I went to Animal Kingdom first thing in the morning to go on Rite of Passage, because I definitely want to do that because I've never been on it before, and I got to do it, and then I spent the rest of the day with my family there. Yeah. So, um, in Marvel news, they announced that Agatha is going to be in a spin-off series. So Agatha Harkness was the villain in WandaVision. And last we left her, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, then close your ears. Um, she kind of left in thinking that she was her other persona. So I'm curious to see what a spin-off would entail, and if this serves as a kind of WandaVision sequel, or like season 2 of WandaVision. Um, and I'm curious to see like if anyone other casts are returning, if Wanda or White Vision appear in it. But Agatha, I think, especially like Catherine Hahn, it did a great job as Agatha, and I'm really excited to see her come back as that character. Which I knew she'd come back as a character, but I didn't know she'd be in a series. So, is it going through? Is Everest going through a refurb in February? I guess that'd be the time, the slowest time. No, sorry to hear that'll be closed, but yeah, it happens. Like right now, Big Thunder's closed in Disneyland, and it's like one of my favorite rides. So I don't get to go on it yet. But yeah. Hawkeye is debuting on November 24th, and they kind of announced through a video that, or like a mini trailer or something, that it'll debut by airing 2 episodes on the 24th. Now I don't know how long those episodes are. Like if it's followed anything with the other Marvel shows, it's as long as it has to be. So it could be 30 minutes, it could be 40 minutes, it could be an hour. So we'll see. It's not to get the Yeti working. Isn't like the Yeti like hit or miss? Like it's worked. I think I've been on that ride 3 times, and I think it worked 2 out of the 3 times. So I don't know. Uh, yeah, that's all the Marvel kind of stuff, I guess. Yes, Catherine Hahn is awesome. Like she's so if you don't know, Catherine Hahn is in 2 Marvel things. So she's Agatha, but she also voices Doc Ock in Into the Spider-Verse. So she is a Marvel staple now. Um, in Star Wars news, Carl Weathers has confirmed that season 3 of The Mandalorian has begun filming. Yeah, I've seen the Yeti like do its thing twice. The one time it didn't do much, so I think it was broken then. Did it really? So yeah, the Two Tiny Wings is saying that the Yeti, the motion affected the structure. I can see it. If it's like a heavy kind of animatronic, I can imagine like that's a lot of weight being thrown around. At least now I'm questioning my memory, because I remember it being animated. Maybe it wasn't as animated as it was in the beginning. So Two Tony was saying, so they froze it and started Disco Yeti. Is that what I saw? Now I'm, yeah. Now I'm questioning what I saw. I feel like I saw it, because I remember I went to Animal Kingdom the year it opened. I'm pretty sure the year it opened, so I know I saw it. I wrote it then. But I feel like the second time I went, it was still working. But if it's not, then maybe I'm just remembering something different. Maybe because, the Matterhorn here in Disneyland also has a Yeti, but it's, and also kind of went through the same kind of thing where it was more animated before. I mean, not as complex as Everest, but like, and then it just became like stationary, didn't do anything. Um, so maybe it's the same kind of thing. But I hope they do at some point get it fixed, strengthen the structure. So, yeah. Mandalorian season 3, right? Mid-April. That's crazy. Mandalorian season 3, for anyone, like, it's supposed to obviously follow season 2, but I feel like Book of Boba Fett fits in there somewhere. It's kind of hard to know exactly where the Book of Boba Fett, which is what's going to premiere this year on December 29th, so like the last possible time a new show can be released in 2021. So essentially, Book of Boba Fett is a 2022 show. But then I think Mandalorian season 3 won't air until also winter 2022. So I don't know if Book of Boba Fett's going to be a direct sequel to or like following the season, and we see a time jump in Mandalorian season 3, or what. So I'm curious to see what that's going to be like. And then the last bit of news that I'm talking about is Kumail Nanjiani and Ming-Na Wen were interviewed this week. Kumail, I think, in Variety or Vogue, some publication where he talked about his character in Obi-Wan. And from his interview, it sounds like his character is going to be a big part of the show. I mean, like he's kind of blowing up, right? He's in the Eternals, and so like his star is rising. So having him being a prominent character is not a surprise to me. But what's interesting is that he says that he's talking a lot about working with Ewan McGregor a lot. So it sounds like he's going to be around Obi-Wan a bunch. So I wonder what that means or what kind of character he's playing. But he also said he's playing a new version of a type of character we've seen before. No clue what that means. Like, is he talking about like a kind of weird Padawan-y thing, another kind of Jedi? Like, does Obi-Wan find another Jedi in hiding, and so this Jedi doesn't act like a normal Jedi? So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that, and I'm hoping that we learn a little bit more about when Obi-Wan comes out on November 12th, which is that Disney Plus day. So, and then also Ming-Na Wen was on a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor on Smallville. He has a podcast called Inside of You, and she talked about her role in Star Wars and how she didn't audition for Fennec Shand. She kind of got the role because she was introduced to Deborah Chow, and through that, and then like somewhere along the line, she kind of learned that her and Dave Filoni went to the same high school at different times, but they kind of share that. They're both from Pittsburgh, I think it is, around there. But she did not know that her character was coming back, and she was also surprised that she now voiced Fennec Shand and now will be also in the Book of Boba Fett. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that. I love Ming-Na Wen, and she's charming on that podcast. So if you have a chance, it's Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. You can catch it on like a podcast or on YouTube. So it's cool to check that out. That's about it. Unless anyone else in chat has anything you want to talk about, open the floor. Otherwise, I got nothing else. Like I said, this was going to be a short kind of show since Loren isn't here, and usually he kind of prepares the news most of the time. So I don't know. Other than that, like I said, I go to Disneyland every week, so I should have some kind of video to do. I'm not sure what other kind of things to take footage of or share with everybody. There you go. Yep, Pittsburgh. There you go. Something like New Lebanon or something like that. High school, I think that was what it was called. So yeah. Yeah. If anyone has any suggestions to what you'd like to see me make a video about in Disneyland, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to do footage from some of the attractions at night and take you through some of the areas at night. But other than that, I'm not really sure. I do know I'm going to the Disneyland holiday event on, I don't remember when, sometime in November, like the day before the holiday officially starts. So I'll have a video about that. Then I'll have a video about the actual holiday. I need to get on Haunted Mansion, but every time I go, it's like an hour wait, and I'm impatient. There you go, yeah, Mount Lebanon. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you everyone who's here in chat, and then everyone else who's going to watch this on replay. What's the spiel that Loren says at the end? Oh, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. And like I said, like in the comments, let us know what you want us to talk about, if anything. I know in the beginning of our podcast, we used to have like a main topic where we talk about some kind of thing, like our memories or where we started or whatnot. So anything you guys want us to talk about on the show, let us know. And like I said, also let me know if there's anything from Disneyland you guys want to see, and I'll do my best to get the footage. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you, everybody. You can follow us on our socials. It's linked in the video description below. And until next time, catch you on the flip side. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, yeah. All right. Bye.